What's up, everyone? We're back with some more Modern action, specifically Modern 2015, and we've got another Tron matchup here versus Izzet Storm. Now, this is going to be a really interesting and exciting one if you've never experienced old school Storm. Now, if you're playing the present day Modern, you know a little bit about what Storm does. It's a lot of cycling through and revealing cards from the top of your library, putting them in exile, and then being able to cast them next turn. And you just sort of like have a lot of enablers with Ral, Monsoon Mage, as well as Ruby Medallion. Those two cards are not legal. They weren't printed in 2015, so it's a very different version of it. You've got, of course, our Goblin that does similar stuff. It's our little Izzet Goblin that we've got, the Goblin Electromancer there. And so that's the only reducer in cost that the deck has. So only 4 ofs in it. The rest of it is a lot of cantrips. You're doing Serum Visions, you're doing Sleight of Hands, and you're doing this like setup stuff. Pyromancer's Ascension is another really good one because you're kind of spinning your wheels a lot in the early stages of it. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this goes about here. But thanks for tuning in and watching, everyone. I'm, of course, NanMans, bringing you guys all the action over here on the channel every Monday and Thursday. And then, of course, our sprinkling of content on Saturday. We did just have our most recent Pokemon edition. Very quick, short one, just the electric Pokemon, only like about 7 minutes. We've got a couple other ones coming up soon. You know, very, very cool stuff to be able to showcase for you all. And then we've, of course, got an event that we'll go to, SCG Con. We're just going to go swing by on the Saturday, so if you're around, we'll probably be buying, selling cards, slinging some spells, playing some Modern, playing some Commander. So we'll be kind of hanging out in that free play area, just sort of relaxing for the event. I don't know if I'm going to play in any of the side events, doing any of like the Modern tournament stuff. There's a lot of really cool stuff for the SCG Con. Of course, the one in DC is the one that we're going to if any other East Coasters are hanging out there. But, you know, this is our match that we got to, of course, participate in the tournament itself, but this was all filmed in April for the Sears charity event, which has been amazing. We've been covering all of those events. This is the last match of the regular play, right? There was 5 rounds of regular play, then the cut to top 8 here. So this is the last little bit in the round number 5 here. So, of course, the event itself raised $1,500 for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, which is amazing to be able to see. So, awesome. We can't wait to be able to go back out and sling some more spells in 2015 format there. But let's get into this match because you can see it is underway. We've got Sleight of Hands going to be cycled through for Izzet Storm player as the second one gets cast here. Gruul, Tron doing the Tron things and just playing one of our Tron lands, and then a map kind of passing over. So one on top, one on bottom essentially, or one to our hand. Yep, looks like we got our land, and yeah, starting up. Basically, we've gotten a decent setup here. We've got, looks like, some rituals. We've got a grape shot, so our payoff here, because that's part of it too, is being able to dig and find your payout from here. But Pyromancer's Ascension, amazing to be able to get dropped down. Now, we only have one of our spells in the graveyard right now, but if we got a different one, the whole goal about is whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you put a charge counter if you control a copy of that spell in your graveyard, right? So then if it has 2 or more, you got to make a copy of that. So you can really kind of snowball things out. But Tron has been assembled. Turn 3 Tron into a Wormcoil engine. Very nice. And we see a sphere get dropped down right below it. But the 6/6 lifelink, death touch, and then when it dies, turns into 2 3/3s. Oh, here's our enabler. Goblin Electromancer coming out. Pretty nice. But it looks like we did not get to drop down another land there. So that does make it a little bit tough. So big setup turn here. Pyromancer Ascension, Goblin Electromancer. We're setting up for our next kind of big hit, but there's a Wormcoil coming across for 6 damage. That also will be a little bit of math problem. Of course, the Storm deck is really just trying to get up to that 20 count as quickly as possible, and when your opponent is gaining some life early like this, it makes it really tough. And now Oblivion Stone getting dropped down. When we have so much of our presence on the board here, it does become very difficult to kind of manage, and you see Manamorphose, a Ritual, and double Grape Shot. What's the last card over there? All right, Manamorphose. We are, looks like, going to generate double red, storm count 1. In response, looks like we will pop, crack the star first, draw a card, and then with that floating, still have 5 mana, blow everything up. In response, Desperate Ritual, because again, we still have things being cheaper right now. But this is the tough thing where I think the sequencing was off there, right? You want to start out with the Ritual and then go for the Manamorphose. I mean, maybe the popping of the O-Stone wouldn't have happened regardless, but, would have waited until the Manamorphose to the draw, because that's the kind of window that you need to kind of really fight over it there. But we see 3/3. I like that. Death Touch, Life Link, the DT, LL going on to help represent. Didn't want to draw any worms for us, though, but that's okay. All right, what will we get to assemble? 5 red mana here. Storm count 2. I mean, that Pyromancer Ascension going away definitely hurts. I mean, looks like there's the next Ritual. Grape Shot, storm count 4. Deal 4 damage. Do we go face here? Puts to 22. That's not that much. I feel like we have to deal with the lifelinker here. All right, deal with the lifelinker. And then we've still got a Grape Shot left for maybe finding something. Okay, actually, we're going to do 3. Okay, we're just going to start firing them off. Okay. Adjust. All right, 5 to the dome. Oh my gosh, Grape Shot again. 7 total more. Dropping our player down to 14, which is pretty good, you think. Yeah, that's tough where you're like, committed so many resources there and had to waste it on the Wormcoil Engine. That lifelink really just sort of messing up our math there. But all those tools are in the graveyard, so we could set up for getting ourselves into a Past in Flames line and try to kind of refill and rebuild there. But we are 100% in rebuild mode. And if you've never played against a Tron deck, the top decks of Tron are just get exponentially better the longer the game goes on. Once you've already assembled up all of your mana that you need, any threat that you draw is going to have the potential to kind of end the game, right? Whether it's like a Karn, because this is back when, we don't have the same Eldrazi tools that we currently do, or the same Planeswalker that we currently do, but we still have a good chunk, and we do see kind of cycling through stuff right here. Sylvan Scrying, Stars. We're just sort of like thinning the deck essentially at this point, finding more mana to just continue to cast things. But this search for any specific land we want. And also, do you see the banned card on the battlefield? Currently banned in present day Modern, but 2015 legal because, again, the Eldrazi Winter had not happened in 2015, so we are able to utilize Eye of Ugin there. But Serum Vision's going to helpfully set ourselves up, draw a card, scry 2. So really we need, it's going to be tough. We need basically a Ritual and a Past in Flames to really get ourselves going again. Looks like we put a Ritual on top. I think there's a Past in Flames in hand, but do we have enough time? We'll see. Paying the 7, and that's the other thing. Eye of Ugin, we're not sacking it, right? This is not like the temple that you'd have to sacrifice and go search. This is just pay 7, go find a colorless creature. Play one of the towers. So let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 mana. Wormcoil Engine, let's go. Get some more life going. Is there enough time? And another O-Stone. Okay, let's see. Past turn. Oh, we didn't even get a glimpse at it. There's 6. Boom, big life swap. Dropping our Storm player to 6. Gaining back up to 20. And now our Storm player has to basically start over at 0 again. Okay. Ancient Stirrings reveal Emmercool. Oh, that's pretty good. And there's the scoop up. Our Tron player will be able to take game number 1 here in this best of 3 series. So yeah, a little bit different. Like if you're looking at both these decks, because both these decks still exist in current Modern, it's so interesting to see the old versions of the decks, because, you know, it doesn't always happen. But now we get to see a little glimpse of the sideboard tools. Of course, you see immediately Blood Moons are going to get grabbed and brought in here. Also looks like we're going to grab Empty the Warrens to help us out as well, trying to go Swarm mode and just sort of take over the board. Now, both players do have deck lists available. It is an open deck list event, so we will be able to have access to seeing, okay, what could you bring in? How can I enter? Yeah, there we go. There's the deck list getting passed over. So we can kind of go through, okay, what are you going to bring in? And you see a couple of, looks like, spell sites getting grabbed for a Tron player, which could be very beneficial. You've got to be careful, though, because we're interrupting our gameplay to let you know about our new affiliate with NerdGear. Nerdgear.gg/NanMan will take you directly to the website, and as you can see, they've got a bunch of awesome gaming accessories from playmats, life counters with the life tracks, playmat holders, and more. So make sure you do some browsing on the site, find some goodies, and then use the code NGNanMan for 5% off your entire order. But let's get back to our gameplay. All right, as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by myself there. It was, you have to be careful with the spell skites, because you can't easily generate blue mana except for with spheres and stars and things like that. Like if you have those, sure, so you have to be able to kind of keep 1 or 2 around with your spell skite, but you also need those to generate green mana. So it's like, it's a weird position to be in, because paying 2 life to redirect a grape shot is not actually beneficial, right? Because grape shot does 1 damage. Yeah, okay. Oh my gosh, I love that. It says, hey, I'm gonna mulligan here. Here's what I got: all lands. No way to do anything with them though. So both players going to be mulliganing down. They both had to mulligan down game 1 as well. So a little bit of a, you know, challenge. But it is the new mulligan rule. We are using the new mulligan rule, so we don't have to do any of the scrying that used to be the place of, like, I go to 6, scry 1. Like, nope. Now we're go to 7, put 1 on the bottom. So much better for any sort of combo-based deck that exists. Now, Tron isn't necessarily considered a combo deck. It's really more of a control deck, which is crazy big mana control deck, but very, very powerful. Now, I will let you guys know, because this is our last deck or match from the early rounds of the tournament. After that, we're cutting to our top 8. So stay tuned. We'll talk to you about the 8 decks that made it into the top 8, and then we'll go into, of course, next Monday will be our first round of the top 8 there. And then we've got, of course, every Thursday is our present current day modern stuff for you to be able to enjoy. But let's see. Looks like both players happy with their hands. We're going to get into it. Looks like an Empty the Warrens available here. All right. Faithless Looting. Lose a life. Draw 2, discard 2. Very solid there. I mean, things you want to put in, like if you have a Pyromancer's Ascension, stuff like that. Oh, Past in Flames, easy. Pitch that one. Like, oh, the Empty the Warrens. I guess because it's like a 4 mana, don't really want to do it. But it's like, it's a Storm payout. I don't know. I feel like the reduced cost of Past in Flames being in the graveyard compared to being in the hand is gonna be a little bit more helpful, more beneficial there, because, you know, normally it's costing 5, it's costing 4 when it's in the graveyard for the flashback. But I don't know. I don't enjoy, or I still don't really enjoy the Storm decks as much, because they I have a hard time with linear decks that don't really change their game plans, right? Where you're just like, I'm going to cycle all my cards, essentially, and it's kind of also why I don't really like Living End as much. I keep tweaking it and changing it and trying to make it a little bit more enjoyable, but it's like the game plan seems very straightforward, and I'd rather play like the control-y stuff, the combo stuff, that is like, in this format, you get to do things like, you know, what am I thinking of? I wanted to say birthing ritual stuff, but no, not birthing ritual, because birthing ritual didn't exist. Birthing pod's banned, but the like Malira, Anafenza, you know, Kitchen Finks, the Abzan Company. There we go. Whew, got there. Words and stuff, but Splinter Twin, of course, amazing deck, love it. But yeah, I've got a couple of 2015 decks that I've decided to start putting together for a little battle box. One of which is the, of course, Twin. One is, in fact, that you guys know that I played for the event, the Abzan Company. I've also got a control deck that I decided to build. And what else do I have built currently? The Jund, and I've got Goryo's Vengeance. So, a lot of cool decks put together there, and I'm slowly looking through and seeing about picking up some pieces for like the Hive Mind, Amulet Titan stuff, but that's later down the road. But getting back to this match here, we see Oblivion Stone getting dropped down, and it's been a lot of the sort of land go elements, both players sort of getting themselves set up here, but our Storm player not really getting anything going yet. All right, they haven't really been able to do much cycling. No preordain, not preordain, because that's not legal. No Sear Visions, no Sleight of Hands, none of that yet at this moment in time. But getting a little bit heavier on the lands. You see again the Past in Flames still just sitting in that hand, feeling like a dead card right now. It's also tough too because the Empty the Warrens are almost like a non-bow against Oblivion Stone, right? If you start to go off and you're like, I'm gonna make a billion goblins, and they go, okay, untap, pop my Oblivion Stone, kill all your goblins. All right, it just feels like all that work went for nothing. So it's tough, right? Goblin Electromancer now is pretty good. Looks like we're actually going to try to go here. You see, boom, boom, boom. Rituals getting cast. Chaining, Pyretic, Desperate. Let's go. There's the Past in Flames. But we don't have any draw cards at the moment. There's no Sleight of Hands. There's no Preordains. I guess we were feeling under the gun a little bit with the Oblivion Stone and trying to find out, okay, how can we realistically deal with this? All right. There is a Sear Visions. Oh, yeah. You see the shakes. We've talked about this before. Is because of where we had set up the filming equipment, it was directly attached to this large table. And so every so often you'd see players do things like that, like drumming on the table or bang the table or do something where that happens. For the most part, though, it's been a pretty stable recording. So we are going to, looks like, go for some maybe chaining here. Up to 7. But yeah, it's just Empty the Warrens here, right? There's no Grape Shot. No other ways to... I mean, we have the Serum Visions there. Okay. So yeah, we did the flashback of the Faithless Looting, which I like to see to get the Serum Visions in the land in the graveyard. But I like that it says, hey, do you mind if I just walk back those 2 rituals and just like, just kidding, stop there? I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, I mean, when you're sitting with the Oblivion Stone already and it's a casual, I say casual, when it's a tournament for charity, you can do these things where a lot of players borrow decks. A lot of players had not played many of the decks in the format. We got to see, like, round 1 was the perfect example of that. If you guys saw round 1, or if you haven't seen all the other rounds, please go back and check. We have, of course, a playlist dedicated on the channel just to 2015 Modern. But you can always go back through and check out all of our gameplay that we've got on the channel in case you're interested in that. But Eye of Ugin coming in clutch again. Oh, yeah, that's really nice. Get a Worm Coil. Tron piece. So what are we at? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. All right, there it is. Worm Coil. I guess I'm wondering what, like, there was that bounce spell in the sideboard there. What was that blue one? It's like 1 in a blue. Oh, second Goblin Electromancer is nice. Oh my gosh. Somebody in the chat, let me know. It's 1 in a blue. You get to return target non-land permanent and all other permanents with the same name. Like, I think that might have been a good utility card to bring in to kind of maybe try to find those windows of opportunity to be like, oh, I can bounce the Worm Coil, or I'll bounce the Oblivion Stone and then go off, or do, you know, like these sort of better ways to interact. All right, let's make some gobos. Empty the Warrens. Pass turn. Starting out with 2, but we still have, of course, Past in Flames, Desperate Rituals. We've got some ways to go about it. I like this sort of, hey, I'm going to make some blockers. We'll be good to go. Oh, we'll be good to go until you tutor up your Emrakul. So what are we at? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And, of course, the 2 reduced off of the Eye of Ugin. So 13 mana, of course, can't be countered. Let me take an extra turn. Flying, protection from all colored spells, Annihilator 6. And, oh wait, what do you have? 6 permanents, 4 lands, and 2 goblins? Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. Little fist bump, GG's, you know, wiping off the dry erase. Shout out to Infinitoken for the amazing tokens, of course. But yeah, okay, we see, I like that a lot. Pyroclasms being brought in there. Spellskites, I don't really like the Spellskites, but I like the Pyroclasms because it gets rid of the Electromancers. It gets rid of all of the goblins from Empty the Warrens. So I do like that a lot. Oh, okay, so there's discussion. Should I brought in Shadowstorm? Like, it's, and they're like, not really, because it's like Oblivion Stone, I pop in response. Sure, you kill my Worm Coil. I guess I've got a 3/3 that gives me lifelink instead of a 6/6. Like, you know, Spheres and Stars are just going to get popped and put in the graveyard. And even if they go into the graveyard because of Shatter Spree, you're still drawing a card. Because it's whenever it's like, goes to the graveyard. Oh, there's a Blood Moon. Maybe it should have been a more aggressive mulligan for like a Blood Moon then. It would have delayed things a little bit. I mean, O-Stone's still a problem, right? That's a big problem in the, especially game 2 there. Game 1 it was too, because it stopped the Pyromantic Extension. It stopped the Electromancer. So, you know, very, very cool. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this little blast from the past that we got to see here. But that's going to do it for us here today. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching, everybody. Make sure you check out our gameplay Monday, Thursdays, and the sprinkling of content on Saturday. But that's going to do it for us here. Thanks for tuning and watching all, and I'll see you all next game.